We miss you.
Thanks for coming back. Welcome back from Hawaii, Shayan.
Hello. Aloha, motherfuckers.
So you decided to do a biker outfit today?
Yes, but what is it? Dykes on bikes. I got this in Waikiki. Every time I go, I always go to Harley Davidson. Anytime I go to Hawaii, I go to Harley Davidson. I get a little, because Harley's in Hawaii.
I like it.
It's one of my favorite songs. So
Yeah. Tell us about Hawaii.
Well, this is my second time going to Hawaii this year. This time I went to Waikiki, which is more of like the city. Before I went to Kona, which is like the main island. But I personally liked Kona more just because I felt like I was actually in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Whereas Waikiki, I felt like I was in LA, but like an island. Like if
it's
LA
like a
was
party
an island.
island.
Yeah, basically. But it was super fun. We went out. I was drunk. Drunk Shayan made an appearance.
So someone relapsed.
We need to have a nickname for her. What's her name?
Shayan's drunk nickname is going to be Tranny Mess Express.
Oh my God.
Sheezy. Sheezy baby. Yeah, she made an appearance. It was pretty crazy. Went to a few straight clubs, boring as hell. Straight clubs are so damn boring. Like, y'all have shitty music. The alcohol is weak. Like, I'm trying to get drunk. I'm trying to get fed up. I'm trying to dance my ass off. And I was like, we gotta go to some gay clubs. And so we found, I guess their most popular one is called Scarlet. And we went there and partied it up.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
What was the highlight?
Should we dive into it right now?
Yeah, let's dive into it.
Okay, so Drunk Shayan made an appearance, right? And we went to the gay club. And one thing I didn't know about Hawaii is that a lot of straight people go to gay clubs there. So we talked about this on one of the episodes of how straight men are starting to crack the code that they can have a much better time at gay clubs.
The Waikiki bars were filled with straight guys.
To the brim.
She was walking around because this guy didn't want to fuck us because he wanted the cis girls at the gay club.
At the fucking gay club.
So you know what we did? We went around and told every cis girl that they had chlamydia.
We were like, you got chlamydia.
Don't try us, don't come in our section and think that you're going to give that.
They cracked that code in Hawaii because every guy that was there was straight. It was so crazy. And there was a guy that
Wait, quick though.
Yeah.
A lot of people are commenting saying, don't encourage this A and B. They're predators. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Only because I could see where it's coming from because, they're going in, they're kind of finding a drunk girl that's drunk enough to go to them. But I will say on the flip side of this for people watching, oftentimes these girls, they come in and like, oh my God, I just want to go to a gay bar because no one's going to hit on me. I'm going to have so much fun and I'm just going to hang out with my friends. 5 shots later, they're coming up to me at the bar and they're just like, are you gay? And I'm like, yeah. And like, ugh, no one wants to fuck me. You know what I mean? Or like one time this girl, actually a few times this happened, but I remember this girl was just like, what a waste. And I don't know. I don't let things affect me. I really don't for the most part. But like, she literally, to me, I was like, a waste of what? Like, girl, and it's kind of like that thing. And like, in what world do you think I'm gonna fuck you if I was straight? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of funny to me. It's like, what a waste. Like, I don't know why, but it really was like, oh, waste. Call me a waste again, bitch.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's pretty fucked up.
But yeah, it was just anyways. But yeah, I don't know.
Well,
what
you're
your
not
thoughts
a
are on
waste. You're perfect.
that. Oh Lord.
It's funny because so a lot of straight people are coming to the clubs. A lot of cis women are going to clubs too. A lot of the straight guys, for the most part, they don't really. I don't know. They're honestly kind of fun to be around, and
So you don't think it's predatory?
No, not really. No.
And you don't think that straight people are
experience.
taking over the gay club?
Yeah, I mean, can they ever?
What about girls?
Okay, so here's my thing for the girls. Okay,
Here's her thing.
I love
Let
my
it
girls. I'm a
out.
girly pop. I love my girls. Slay queen, sis, whatever. But
She's a liar.
Shayan will only like girls if they are fatter than her.
no, I do. I just if you're going to go in queer spaces,
I hate that word.
be a little. Really, you don't like the word?
I don't
queer?
like the word queer.
I like the word queer. I think the word queer is fun.
It triggers me.
It triggers
It makes
you?
me feel like when I was like a cross-dresser in 9th grade.
Sit over there, queer. Get back to your booth, queer. Steers and queers.
I don't know why.
'Cause it
Because
used to be a negative connotation, yeah.
I mean, things kind of go like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, one day it was okay to say black, now it's not.
Right,
And it was
right.
this and that. Same thing with the gay community. It's like, is it gay? Is it queer? Just queer
Right.
just sounds so bad. It's like,
I don't know.
come here, you queer.
Yeah.
Like, steers and queers. Like, I don't know.
I think because I grew up, when we grew up, it was negative. It was like, queer was like such an offensive thing to say.
I mean, you're a lot older than me, so it's a different.
I think you're a lot
age.
older than me.
But-
But no, I think taking power back in something that was like used in a negative way is like, it's funny, you know? That's why like a lot of times, like I'm always like, tranny this, faggot that, whatever, because so much of my life it was used in such a negative way that I think like, you know, owning it and being like, this is who if I, you know, like what, it just takes away the power, I guess. But
Back to what
I
we're
just
talking
think,
about. So
yeah,
girls
if you're,
coming into the
girls, my biggest pet peeve when it comes to girls is just like be a little more mindful with, you know, trans girls. Like a lot of times when I'll see girls in gay clubs, they will come up to me and they will want to touch my hair or touch my boobs and like treat me like I'm like this like
you're like a
even
life-size Barbie. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
but I'm
It's
also like
put her in this position.
Yeah, I'm also like, oh, I'm still human, you know, still, and then it's also just like the like way they talk to me as if I'm like a drag queen or something. I'm like, ugh, like it just sounds like nails on a chalkboard to me. But drunk Shayan made a visit, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna fuck with this girl because the whole night she was talking to me as if I was like a literal drag queen. Like every 2 seconds it was slay queen, yes, work, yeah. Slay is just not, we don't use that word anymore. We don't use the word slay. We don't use the word, do we use fierce? What are the words we use? We don't use the word slay. We use gag, trade, coin. Those are still cool. So yeah. I need to make a dictionary for like words that are cool in like the queer community. And I did something so bad. I like turned to her and I was like, oh my God, you know what? I wish I could be as passable as you one day. Like no one knows you're trans. That's so crazy.
God.
She did not like it. When I took that energy and I gave it right back to her, she did not like it. And she was so pissed off.
funny.
Her gay friend thought it was the funniest shit ever, was running around the whole club being like, oh my God, they think you're trans, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, she didn't have it.
That is funny. I love that when people are like, oh, you know, I'm so accepting. And then you turn around and be like, oh my God, how long have you been trans for? Immediately that switch flips. You're like, I'm a real woman. And I was like, oh, well, just a second ago.
Yeah, no, it's wild.
funny.
But then there are, I mean, I'm not going to say, again, we're not going to lump everyone. I've met so many amazing, you know, women in gay clubs that just, they get it. They get it. They understand me. I understand them. And, you know, we can all live in peace and harmony. But, you know, sometimes there are some newer people that need a little bit of education, but that's fine. You know, I'm always open to that. And as far as the straight guys go, so there was this really hot straight guy who, because we all pitched in and got a little bottle service there, which was like $200 in Hawaii.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
So
That's
cheap.
cheap everything.
Everything is so cheap. And this guy was so hot, like obviously saw that we had a bottle, and he like came up to me, was like flirting, kissed me, all this stuff, got his shot and bounced. So it's just like basically just like flirted his way in. And I was like, oh hell no, how dare you bamboozle me?
No, you cracked the code. You said it.
He really did, but he bamboozled me. I'm like, why would you bamboozle me? Bitch, I was hoodwinked. I was gagged. He treated me like I was a client.
The bamboozler.
So, yeah, so I went back, and every girl he was going up to and like talking and flirting with, I was like, I went up to the girls and I would say, by the way, he gave me chlamydia last week, just to let you know. And they'd be like, what the fuck? And like run away from him. And the whole night I just kept doing that. So it's very crazy. Hawaii is a good time though. I had a great time.
Sounds like a blast.
People are great. Food's great. How about you? How was your week?
Boring.
Boring.
Yeah, I didn't go to Hawaii, that's for sure.
Yeah.
No, I really didn't do anything this week. It was more of a chill week.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even remember what I did this week. What was this week?
Amazon Prime Day.
Amazon Prime Day. How could I forget? Oh my God. So anyone that knows me knows that I live on Amazon Prime. Every single day I have this weird thing. I have to order something before I go to bed and then have something delivered the next morning. Like every day.
Yeah.
I've done it for years. I don't know if just the excitement of opening something up, or the fact that I have like 800 items in my cart. So like every day I am an Amazon freak and I have the Amazon 5% cashback card, whatever. And it's funny because when I went on to Amazon last, it was like, you've saved $3,800 on cashback from your Amazon card. And I was like, dang, at 5%, that's pretty fucking good.
So that's why Swiss Navy lube is always out of stock on Amazon. It's an addiction. They get you that way.
They really do, you know? And I posted a picture the other day of Logan just waiting for the Amazon delivery guy.
Yikes. Now that I watched this back, it seems awfully cringy that I just flexed my Amazon shopping cart. Sorry.
Yeah, so that's the highlight of my last week, Amazon Prime Day. Actually, you know, we started filming every week now, and we're putting out an episode every Friday.
Yes.
Hopefully our editor can keep up with that.
Yeah.
I know we're overworking him over there. Jay's birthday is coming up tomorrow.
Jay's birthday.
So.
Yes. Happy birthday, baby. Jay got a raise. Yay! Back to work.
Still negotiating.
So
Yay.
this episode we decided was to be called Things Don't Go As Planned. And I think the basis will be more or less, you know, where we saw ourselves 5-10 years ago as to where we are now, you know. I know you wanted to be an actress and that's initially why you came to LA?
Yeah.
Okay.
Originally. Also, I totally moved to LA to chase after a boy. I feel like every moment in my life is like, I did this because of a boy. That's so pick me and gross. Ew.
And where are we at now with that?
You know, not acting. Definitely.
No, you're acting.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good.
You get it, Jay?
That's funny.
She's acting as a woman.
Oh, every day. Every day I act as a lady.
Well, I noticed Jay didn't get it at all. I was like...
That's a good joke. Yeah, no, I just cosplay as a woman every day. It's like a whole full-time job.
It's actually the best actress ever, you guys. You should hire her.
And see if you ever need a woman for your event. I knew I had to get the fuck out of Texas. I knew that there was more to life than what was in Texas. And I needed to get the hell out of there. And originally I wanted to go to UCLA to study theater, film, and television. But my grades sucked so bad, I didn't get in. I got in, like, the acting wise, but I didn't get in for academics because I don't know, I failed like anthropology or something. So wanting to be an actress, I was like really just going at it full time, and I had a manager, agent, all that. But it was a different time. You know, this was 10 years ago. They didn't really have roles that were good for people that are trans.
Unless it was Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Yeah, it was always just
She's
like,
a man.
Yeah, negative. And like, or it would be like, oh my God, you have this amazing role coming. And I'm like, oh my God, what's the name of it? Prostitute number 4. And it's like, fuck, you know? And I would go to auditions and I would like be in a room with a bunch of other what I thought were trans people, and then we'd go to the parking lot, they'd all take off their wigs and like start smoking a cigarette and be like, oh shit, fuck. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm not even like acting with other trans people. And I got pretty close. I got pretty close to a few things, but eventually, I don't know, I fell into the world of escorting, and I was like, I can make much more money faster, and I don't have to deal with this, and you know, and I just kind of, I don't know, I didn't like putting all my faith on like a job and like other people and stuff. I needed to make sure that like I was in control of like my finances.
She's absolutely not in control of her finances. She spends all of her money on shit like purses and boys.
I don't know, it's tough putting your worth in a lot of people that are just critiquing you and judging you and all that is
no, it's funny because I remember when I first came to LA, I did not like the idea of actors at all. I just was like, I don't know, just weird. Maybe it's because I was born and raised in California, Southern California. So like it was never a pipe dream for me. You know, I'd see it. It was there. It was always in the background.
Yeah.
And it's funny, recently I did some research. I play the lottery every Monday. It's something I love doing at $20. And I used to do the Powerball. And then I went to this deep thing where I'm like, what are the odds? What are the odds? You know, and it's like, oh, the odds are actually localized. Like if you play more of a local lottery, your odds are exponentially bigger.
Okay.
And then I kind of went into, you know what are the odds of winning the lottery versus what are the odds of becoming even a C-list celebrity? And it was crazy. It was like, if you play the lottery every single day, you have a 3% chance that in 200 years you're going to win the Powerball.
Wow.
You have a 1% chance of being an actor or an actress, even in the C-list, and above category, which is crazy to me. That's like, because it's like most people don't even bother playing the lottery. You know what I mean? I'm probably the only one I know that plays the lottery. But then I know probably 35 actors. So the fact that it's like, I know so many of them, and it's like they're gambling with their entire lives. Whereas like I just throw $20 in and it's $20, you know? But for someone to actually gamble with your entire life as a 1% chance is actually crazy to me. So it's like, I don't know whether I want to have respect for it or more or less of pity on it, because it's like, it's like, I respect you following your dream 100%.
Yeah.
But like at what point, And we have an actor at the bar, which I'm not going to say the name, but he's an older guy, and I know he's been trying this for a long time. And I have one time asked the question, I was like, hey, so like, at what point, like, do you kind of throw in the towel? Like, at what point do you say, like, you know what, it's time for plan B? Because, you're in your 50s now, and you haven't hit big or made it big.
Right.
And he was so offended. He was almost like as if I would just, like, threw him down a fucking hole or something. Was just like, no, this is it. There is no plan B. Because if you think that there's a plan B, then your plan A, that means that you're not invested in your plan A.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I'm the opposite. I have a plan A, B, C, D, E, F all the way until like I jump off the building or something like that, because that's the end game. I'm like, all right, if this fails, let's hit the reset button. Like,
Just
what
get
I mean?
reincarnated.
I'm just like,
else.
I'll come back as someone's dog and I'll be fine sitting there watching and licking my ball sack or something. But like, I don't get it. So I mean, people are probably gonna sit there and be like, argue about it or whatnot, or people give a fuck. But I don't know. It's interesting, that you came here to do that. Now look at where you're at.
It just
couldn't be further away from that.
Literally.
I mean,
I'm still getting fucked for money.
Right. Damn, that was good. I like that.
Still bending over.
You're still getting
money.
judged.
Still getting judged.
Jesus.
So, yeah.
Actually, you know what? In
it's a
hindsight, maybe there's a lot more similarities.
Yeah, but the biggest lesson I've learned in life is to never take life too seriously, and don't take this podcast too seriously. In control of my finances. So
we go.
That's the perk.
That's good. For me, I initially thought I'd be in finance. When I went to school, I was like, I'm going to be an accountant. My first job was at a bank, and blah blah blah. Then you just never know. I was walking down the street one day, and then someone ran out and was like, "Hey, we need a bartender." And I was like, sign me up.
Yeah.
And it was crazy how it happened, but it's wild to think that. You have this idea of yourself and you change so much. Yeah. I'm not the same person that I was when I was 19. I'm not the same person I was when I was 25,
Yeah.
And a lot of my friends are a lot younger than me, and they have their goals and aspirations, and I look at them and I'm like,
Did you like your younger 20s?
Yes and no. I mean, I think that's why I find myself hanging out with younger people now, because I spent my younger 20s working 7 days a week. You know what I mean? I worked at the bar 7 days a week. I literally my entire life was, the opposite 9 to 5. I'd get there at 9 p.m. and I'd leave at 5 a.m.
Right.
I'd take one day off a month, maybe, just because I was making such good money at the bar. I was like, fuck this. I'm walking with up to $2,000 a night cash, bartending at a gay bar in West Hollywood. Like, fuck yeah, I'm going to work as much as possible. And I was actually getting in trouble. Like, you cannot work this much. And I was like, well, fine. Then they'd only put me on the schedule for 5 days, but then I'd just pick up shifts. Before you know it, I'm back to doing every day. So I think that I kind of missed out on my early 20s. Like, I did some traveling when I could, but for the most part, I think that now that I'm, in my 30s, I'm like, all right, now I could kind of relive vicariously through younger
That's the
friends.
same way I feel. So. That's the same way. The reason why I feel like I hang out with a lot of younger 20 people, because my younger 20s sucked. I mean, first of all, I wasn't hot. I wasn't how I look now. I had no money. I was doing the server / wannabe actress thing, working nonstop. You did a foot reveal,
right? I'm like,
not for free.
My toes falling asleep.
But and so then I'm like, fuck, I missed out so much. In my 20s, I took everything way too seriously. I was constantly reading self-help books and trying to find guidance in life. And now I'm finally in a place where I'm I'm confident. I feel sexy. I feel good. I'm like, let me hang out with some of these younger folks and have a good time.
It's true. It's interesting. Now I'm like the fucking grandpa for some of these guys. I swear to God. Like,
I know.
One of my good friends is turning 21 tomorrow, and he's a wild child, but I love this dude to death. He's awesome. Yeah. But it's just crazy because it's like me if I had that much time. You know what I mean? Because like I was so money hungry when I was younger. But Same. I've had this conversation with a lot of people where it's like, do you live your 20s and then because like there's people that say that you should own a Lamborghini in your 20s because then you're just gonna be too old to flaunt it. You know what I mean? You're gonna be that old person just driving. So, and I'm very logical where I try to see both sides of it. I'm like, shit, man, like did I do it the wrong way? But here I am in my 30s and I can do whatever the fuck I want. You know what I mean? I never have to set foot at a job ever again.
And you still have your looks. You're still
I worked my ass off all through my 20s. But who's to say whether I did it right or wrong? It's only time will tell because now a lot of my younger friends who are in their 20s are living their lives. If they don't hit big on social media as influencers, then what the fuck are you going to do? Your looks are going to fade.
Right.
And at some point, OnlyFans isn't even going to accept your ass. You know what I mean?
That's true. And some people...
They need to open an OnlyFans for old people, literally.
I mean, and some people, you never know how you're going to age. I always say that. You've aged, you still look amazing. I feel like with age, I've gotten hotter. Yeah. But some of these people, I see them and I'm like, ooh, you're aging like milk.
Well, you know what they say, Shayan?
What?
You're not ugly. You're just poor.
Get the Botox.
Get the Botox.
Get the fillers. Get all that.
Yeah, people hate on you for it, but I started doing Botox when I was like 27, 28, and
I started at 19.
And I think that it helps. I mean, there's a bad connotation to it, and people be like, oh, it's this, it's that, but it's preventative. You know what I mean? It makes me feel good. I have gotten countless people to start doing Botox straight. Doesn't matter who you are. I was like, I look at you and I'll be like, you need Botox. Like, I'm going on this day. Don't take it personally.
You have such a good eye
deep
for
lines.
that.
I was like, and like, I kid you not. And like 4 months later, they're messaging me like, hey, when are we re-upping? Because like, I like need this. It's like a fucking fix. It really is. Like, it's so crazy. But I think that, moisturize at a young age. Use your fucking serums.
He has such a sharp eye. Like when he first meets you, he'll be like, little Botox. Remember that girl you were like, you need to fix your extensions. You'd look much better with better extensions.
Yeah, well, her extensions, she looked a wreck. Especially if she's doing OnlyFans. I'm like, girl, your tracks
you have a good eye, but I need
I
love people like that because you're not a yes person. You're a person who's like,
that's how I am though. If I have something in my teeth, like you better tell me. I'm the person. I'm like, yo, you got something in your teeth. And people are like, oh my god, no one would ever tell me. I'm like, I think it's weird that it's such a rarity. That, people say it like it is. I don't know. People are so obsessed with like sugarcoating it. Yeah. And it's funny. Our podcast. There's two things that I know we didn't want to do. One, we didn't want to make it gay.
Right.
We were like, we don't want to just cater to gays. We were like, we want it to be diverse. We want to make sure, we don't just like put ourselves in a corner where only gay people are going to want to watch us. Right. And then the second thing I want to do is keep it real because there is that movie, Don't Look Up. And I don't know if you saw it, but in the movie, anyone on TV was so happy and positive when they're in the middle of fucking dying. Everything's happy, happy, happy. And I was like, no, like sometimes you need a little bit of reality to it. You know what I mean? Like, fix yourself because, no one's going to tell you. So,
well, and there was this person that I actually looked up to a lot and I thought we were really good friends, this older trans woman. And she like commented on like a few of our posts, like, oh, you shouldn't be saying that kind of stuff on public. And it was based off of STDs. And I was like, no, we need to have the conversation of STDs. I don't understand why there's this really horrible stigma against it. There shouldn't be. Yeah. It's common. It's out there. And I think the more we open up the conversation, people will feel less ashamed.
But I also think people live in these weird bubbles. When I did read that the average body count is 4 for people, like 4
that's crazy.
Is crazy. But I'm like, is it because the gay community is so slutty that like our body counts are higher? Or is it because, and I have this conversation with straight friends where, they will not date a girl whose body count is over X amount of numbers, And I don't know if it's, again, an age thing where they're just like, oh, you know, I'm young and I want to find someone who's pure or not. Because we do live in LA and it's like the grass is always green on the other side when it's really not.
Wouldn't you want someone more experienced?
I could say yes and no because I've seen some porn where these buttholes look like you could put traffic cones inside of them.
I know that's right, babe. I got it tight. There you go.
And I'm like, what in the fuck is this? Like, what is that? Like, truly, like, I couldn't imagine someone being like, oh, that's fucking hot. Like, give me that purple sock or whatever the hell that thing is. I'm like, oof. Google purple sock.
I actually cannot believe you put the purple sock in there. Y'all are in for a surprise on this one, I'll tell you right now.
I'm just telling you.
Or like if they're like publicly ran through, then that's kind of a little, you're like, oh my God, I'm talking to this guy, and everyone's like, oh, fucked him last week, fucked him last month, last year, and it's like, damn.
Yeah, I actually have like hard nose that like if a guy has messed with this person, it's an immediate no. I don't give a shit how hot you are. And but I mean, I'm also really picky.
Same.
I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this right now, but for me, if you live in the city of West Hollywood, I put a hard no on it. And it's just because, you know, I get it. The way the analogies I guess I'll use is like you have a garden, you know what I mean? And then there's weeds and there's roses. And I get it that there probably are some roses in the garden of West Hollywood.
Right.
But for the most part, it's weeds. Like it's a weed garden. I'm sorry. Like I have worked there my entire life. I see the same faces go with a different person every single night. I see, you know what I mean? The people that, you know, so it sucks. And, you know, people will be like, oh, that's fucked up. You can't just generalize. And I'm like, no, but I just choose not to pick out which ones are the good, which ones are the bad. And
the only thing I've gotten from West Hollywood is a pizza from Z Pizza and an SCD.
I personally prefer to just fly someone in from fucking bumblefuck
But
Egypt.
you've also always liked someone that's a little more low key. That's not really a scene queen that doesn't really go out because you're a homebody yourself.
Yeah, I'm a homebody for sure.
So
My friends hate that. They're like, well, if it's not in Burbank, Anthony's not gonna do it. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna leave Burbank. I might as well get on a fucking plane and go to Hawaii. You know what I mean? Like,
literally.
Well, you know, it's like that's just about it.
Yeah, there's a little bubble that you do not leave for sure.
I just love it. It's my
But
fun
it's great. You
little
created this beautiful life for
safe
yourself,
bubble,
and you
but-
like this life, and you're not running away from it, which is good. I feel like a lot of people they're running away from something or trying to find something, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Me being one of those people. Me being one of those people at every single, you know, wannabe rock and roll bar. Being like, oh, I hope Prince Charming is here. And it's like, maybe Prince Charming is not at your local
Just a lot of frogs. You gotta kiss a lot of frogs. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, but they almost put me in jail, so those frogs will give you poison. You have to pee on it. Do you have to pee on a frog? Or if you get no, that's a jellyfish.
That's okay.
I failed geometry.
Dork.
Beauty school dropout. Da-da-da.
So college, you did not go.
Oh, I dropped out.
Okay.
Surprise, surprise.
Okay. And I had this conversation with a friend today who is thinking about dropping out. He goes to a really prestigious school, but he did come to LA and he does help with like influential stuff. And, you know, he made a really good point of saying that why is he paying $45,000 a year to go to school to learn something he may not ever use when he could come to LA and get paid to, you know, do something. So, and he asked me for the advice on it. I'm like, it's really tough because you have both sides. It's like, I want to, it's kind of a flex to say you've made it and not gone to school. You know what I mean? And I'll say living in LA, I don't know many people who actually use their degrees. But I also think that if you can get your ass out of bed without your parents making you and go to school for 4 years, then you could devote yourselves to something, you know what I mean? And that's the thing is, so it's really like with everything else that I say, it's a double-edged sword, it's a conundrum, but, and I kind of looked at him and I was like, look, if you can just do 2 years, that'll give you a good idea of like whether you should or not. But how long did you go for?
I went for a whole semester.
Oh.
And then I dropped out.
All right. Any regret? Any regrets?
My biggest regret is I just wish I had the college experience.
Mhm.
Like there are a few things I regret. I wish I had lived in like a house with like a bunch of other girls and like we had like guys over and threw parties. Oh, but that one semester I was in college, listen, let me tell you something. There were a lot of people there were a lot of Swedish people that were there, and bitch, Swedish people, they throw the best parties, man. Girl, they were a good time. I love Swedish people. They what?
Toss dick at you?
Girl, Swedish people, they are fun, and I love them. De måste lära dig hatta fittan. So like we'd go to like a frat house. I feel like would be fun. Maybe even like be in a sorority or something. I don't know.
Ooh, I think it would have been tough for you.
Yeah.
Only because frat boys are they're
hot.
No, but they're brutally honest. So I think that
yeah, but they're hot.
if you didn't look like this,
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, that's another reason.
I mean,
too.
if you had, that's circa,
My Demi
21-year-old
Lovato,
Shayan, I think that we could have had a little girl in a ditch 4 days later, decomposing situation.
But that, I don't
to
know.
be
I
honest
have
with you,
such
and I love me a frat boy, but I know that
fantasy.
when I was in school, if I had seen a situation that I didn't know what it was, I'd be like, "What is that?"
Yeah.
You throw it back. Let it mature a little bit more. Throw it back in the
Yeah.
ocean. Well, here's an ocean. Just throw it in there.
Yeah.
Maybe it won't get out.
Oh shit. I mean, don't they like roofie too at like frat houses?
Oh, I mean,
It's not a
roofies
thing.
are expensive. I always tell people when people come to me at the mall and be like, I've actually been accused of roofing girls, to be honest with you. And it's a thing. It's just like going back to the other conversation when girls come in. This is a common trade, but we actually serve less alcohol to females.
Okay.
I will put less alcohol into that cup.
Okay.
Their frames are smaller.
Not this female though.
Their frames are smaller. And I'm just like, oh, I don't want to be dealing with this mess later. So I will pour less, you know. It is what it is, but women, hopefully you thank me later. But there's girls that come back and be like, oh, you're the only person I got a drink from, and I didn't remember anything, and I'm pretty sure I got roofied. And I'll look at you and be like, first of all, roofies are expensive, and I'm not about to waste them on you. Seriously, if that's the situation it came down to.
Yeah.
And second, you just need to learn how to hold your alcohol. I feel like 99% of people who say they've gotten roofied, not to downplay anyone who probably has.
No, yeah.
Because I actually think I did. I went to a bar, had one drink, woke up in jail the next morning, drove the wrong way down the 405 freeway. Like, that's a legitimate situation. But I was young and like some older dude just handed me a drink and I was like, yeah, it's a vodka cranberry. Ugh, hate vodka. But that was like, okay, I experienced it. I woke up in jail. Note to self, I'm at the bar every time a drink is made, period.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Or I just do a shot. That's it. Or a beer or something easy, But yeah, I don't even know how we got on this topic. What are we talking about? I sidetracked the fuck out of this one. But college roofies. Yeah. I have no idea. I honestly think that you're just so young and dumb. You just fucking put shit in your mouth and call it a day and tell a story about it the next day.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I would, the amount of things I've snorted off of toilet seats and ran on
that's so
people's
horrible.
fingers. And,
I always love the memes where people are like, for gay guys, it's like, oh, you eat ass, but you're afraid to eat a banana with like some brown spots on it. And I always tell people that I'll like grab someone's water bottle and drink from it, like, oh, that's so and so's, and I was like, I eat ass.
yeah,
Like,
same.
we're good. Like, we're good. You know what I mean?
My favorite dish.
Even when I was straight, pussy, I have an oral fixation. I used to love eating pussy. I don't know. I more of a pleaser mentality. I
pussy.
loved eating pussy. I really did. It was so fun to me. It was so exciting. Like,
I will say the hotter I've gotten, the less I like sucking dick. That's the thing. I remember they said like, oh, hot girls don't suck dick. That's true. I feel like the hotter you get, you're like, I don't have to work so hard. Just look at me.
Yep.
And look how pretty I am. That's all the work I need to do.
Shoot.
But before, in my younger 20s, I was like, going crazy. Now I'm like, can we just skip it?
Considering you only did one semester of college, no wonder why you can't even finish a fucking blowjob. No commitment. This is what I'm talking about. No commitment.
I want the sore throat the next day. Cause like I'll go in and I'm like, I'm gonna have a sore throat the next 3 days. Like, son of a bitch. No, just because you go hard. And, like the friction, just
put in that work.
I don't know. Maybe I don't spit on it enough. Fuck.
Unless if you like gaslight me and treat me like shit, then I'll go crazy.
Well,
Then I'll definitely do it. Okay, so college. Yeah, no, that's my biggest regret, honestly. I wish I had a college experience. So if there are any frat guys that are out there that want to invite us, please,
There we go.
let's go. Have a good ass time.
Oh shit!
I have to cross that
Play
off
some
of
beer
my
pong.
list of like fantasy.
Shayan will give you one of those. What are they called? A donkey show?
Donkey show.
Yeah, don't they do that?
What does that mean?
I don't know. He just looks like someone who'd give, or like the shows.
Pin
were
the
like,
tail on a donkey?
something like that.
Oh.
I don't know.
A circus?
Circus of gays.
Like donkey shows, like what the fuck was I thinking? Like honestly, because I think a donkey show is when they get like fucked by a donkey.
So things that don't always go according to plan. Have you ever done something to impress someone and it just backfired?
Yes. Well, I've done it a few times, but the one that comes to mind the most, and it still sits on my mind because it's like it's a little more fresh. But there was a guy who I met on one of those like those like Instagram pages for inmates.
Yeah.
And like you see in they're like good looking inmates, and like you talk to them. Well,
So they'll send you like if they're actual inmates, but they're hot though, and like
Oh my god.
you have to message them and stuff like that, and you have conversations. This one's in Idaho. Daniel Hill.
Oh, you could probably talk to my cousin on there.
I think you can. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I love it.
That's great.
I met one, and he was in where's he from again?
Oklahoma.
And and I remember I saw his. You may have sent it to me actually. Of him in an orange jumpsuit or something. It was like a headshot, and I reached out to him, and he's like, well, in order to leave the state, I have to like pay off these fines, blah blah blah, because he had like a baby mama drama where he like beat up the guy and like it was a whole situation. But I ended up paying this guy's fines, and like I literally like he had 4 kids, and I would like send him like backpacks and like stuff for school. And he wasn't allowed to leave the state for like a certain amount of time until his probation got up. So I was in it and like sending him money, sending his mom money, like, and like,
You were
know,
down bad.
and I was like, we were messaging while he was in jail the whole time. And like, he would like say these things that were just like, oh, when I get out, like I'm not gay, but you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, cool. Like,
Mama, I'm in love
right?
with a criminal.
And so it gets out and comes to LA, and we had a great time. Don't get me wrong, but all bullshit. Like it was literally like, it was like, oh, this is as soon as he came out here, it was a completely different person. You know what I mean? I just felt so disappointed in myself almost, because I'm just like, why do I do this? This wasn't the first time, by the way, but this is the first time I've done it for this long. Like, I've flown people out, I've done this, I've paid this, but this was a long haul. Like this was months, if not a year, maybe even more of just like constant this and that back and forth, and like, and I fell for it. And then he came out here and like didn't even do anything, like, which is fine. I've done that before, which is fine if life's all about expectations, and if you set an expectation, I expect you to follow through. And he set an expectation and failed miserably. But it was so bad to that, like 4 days later, I literally just like, oh, hey, your Uber is here in like 5 minutes and you're going to the airport and leaving. And I was like, all right, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, I can't blame him. It sucks, but like,
That's crazy. I would have freaked out.
Yeah.
I would have freaked out. One thing I do not like is getting blue-balled. I'm sorry. I'm a squirrel looking for a nut. I need my nut, bitch. Oof. And if I am giving, I would be so mad. I don't know how you say so confident. And I always admire you because you always are there and in it for the long haul. I'm not. I'm a very impatient person. I need it right away. If you don't tell me I love you the first day, if you don't worship the ground I walk on, it's not.
Damn, people are gonna watch this, and what's that saying? I'm pretty sure the one is watching this right now and is already like, "Oh, fuck this bitch."
Oh my god!
What about you? Tell me a story.
Let's see. I mean, I would always do like, okay, I have this very toxic trait.
I'll say, here we go. If she mentions Trip one more time.
When I like a guy, I will find out what his interests are, and I will try to be the master of whatever interests he likes. So there was this football player that I had a thing with or whatever, and he loved golf. He was like a
Oh my
huge fan
God,
of
I
golf.
remember this.
And bitch, let me tell you, I spent $2,000 in golf lessons. And I would go religiously to Golf Tech here down the street from me. And I would go and try to be a master of golf. And I would be like posting on my story, like, such a long day of golfing. Like, I would do all the thirst traps of like pushing my boobs together, holding the little putt, sending him photos, this and that, trying to look like the ultimate cool girl. And it never works. It never works out. And sometimes I think that's a big lesson in like maybe a guy just doesn't want, like, he doesn't want to date himself. He likes you for what makes you you.
Yeah.
You don't need to
there's always
change
that
for a
saying
guy.
like when you have a type, you always deviate from your type. You know what I mean? You are very bad at that.
Really?
But
I don't think I'm that bad.
but for me too though, you know, like there's times where it's like, you know, I have a type and then like I find out meeting someone who couldn't be more opposite of my type, you know what I mean? And you've called me out for that too. And it's like, oh, this is your type. Why isn't it working? And I was like, I don't know. I don't like this one. I don't know. I need another type.
Yeah. The amount of instruments I've tried learning and picking up to like impress the guy, like, oh, he likes guitar. I'm gonna learn how to play guitar and buy a guitar and do this and that and switch my whole demeanor and everything to it. And it always just blows up in my face. And they always end up not. I guess it's very pick me. Oh, that's
So we've talked about money and buying happiness, which, by the way, I read a study that they say money actually does buy happiness. Because I'll put the link down in there. I just read it. And it's like this huge study over however many years that they're saying that it is actually true. But it's more or less, it buys you the time to be able to do things you like, which makes you happy. But we're not going to dive deep into that. But do you think money buys love?
No. So, when my response for that was not, definitely money buys me happiness in the sense of like, you know, I could do whatever I want. I could go to Hawaii. I could do this. I could do that, whatever. That, yes. But when it comes to love, no. And I've had some of the richest men in the world try to date me and offer me so much. And I tried it. I tried dating a guy for money. He was like a little short king. And he was an asshole. And I didn't like him at all. I wasn't sexually attracted to him. There were moments where we would have fun or like we'd have a connection here and there, and he would pay for everything. And I didn't like it. Fancy restaurants, all that, those don't impress me anymore. For me,
don't impress
like
me much.
my ideal perfect date would be like to sit in a car and like drive around LA and like go up a mountain and then like maybe get
feed
McDonald's.
each other McDonald's fries or some shit.
Yeah,
That's
how'd you
what
know? How'd you know? And like maybe
because Terry Yummy is your favorite, and that's all
Terry
she does.
Yummy.
Isn't that her name? Terry Yummy? Some
no,
like,
she's Persian though. Yeah. Oh, like riding around in
no,
a car?
that's all she does. Every time I've watched, you're like, check out Terry
she's
Yummy. All
blowing
she
up,
does is sit in cars, or all she does is talk or whatever. And every time I've watched her, she sits in a car and she eats fucking food, and this bitch gets like 5 million views. I'm like, sorry,
and she's cute. Well, she's a fellow Persian girl. I met her a few times. She's really sweet. But yeah, no, like I want to drink a 40 out of a little like with a guy and just talk all night, talk about our dreams and our, you know, whatever. For me, the show and all the like hoopla and the this, I'm like, oh, welcome to the like #1 like restaurant. Like, where the fuck is the food? Like, I don't give a damn. Like, every time we go to Spago, it's like, oh my god, like I just need a fucking French fry. I need a McDonald's. Like, I need something. I don't like fancy food restaurants.
All right, you heard it. Don't take her to any fancy food restaurant.
I don't. I have the taste buds of like a literal like, I don't know, child that grew up on government food. I don't like fancy dinners, schminners, whatever.
Well, with that being said, I'm starving.
And now, Anthony, you have the palate of like.
No, I don't. I'm starving actually. I've been fasting for like I do a 15-hour a day fast. I love it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It feels great, but now I'm hungry. So I think we're gonna wrap with that.
And I'm gonna take a shot of Manjaro.
Oh shit.
That's my meal.
God. Well, see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye. Oh, I wanted to flick off the camera. Are we playing a game?
Oh wait, yeah.
Wait.
How could I forget? It's time for Shayan's favorite part.
Reading the Bible.
No, game time.
Oh. Yay!
Okay. This is our game show host over here. We
Hey,
have
everybody.
It's Jay.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the game. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
Let's do
All
it.
right. So basically, the game's going to be put a finger down if you did something. So you just put a finger down. Don't be ashamed. Don't be scared. Okay. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Yes.
All right. Let's go.
What if you have 9 fingers?
Damn, that's too bad. Put your toe finger down. get a foot camera for her. All right, ready? I'm just gonna pick some at random.
Okay.
Put a finger down if you were born male.
Oh shit! Who put that down?
Ooh, wait.
The next one's gonna be put a finger down if you ever stabbed someone.
You didn't stab someone?
Yikes,
Oh.
No, I'm a good girl.
Tony.
We'll talk about these later.
Put a finger down if you've ever done meth by accident.
It was one time.
Put a finger down if the last time you went to Hawaii, you let a guy you like watch your dog, borrow your car, and then he repaid you by saying he hated your fucking dog on your home security camera and had a girl who is now his girlfriend in your motherfucking car.
Oddly specific.
Put a finger down if you ever had a full bottle of Swiss Navy Lube spill all over your hair.
That was funny.
That was
actually.
you, right?
I remember that one. That was wild.
Oh, okay, this one's
Silicone
great.
lube too.
Oh, he's a bitch to get out.
Yikes. Never could not relate to you two. Put a finger down if you ever blacked out at a club and drove on the wrong side of the road and woke up in jail.
We just talked about this.
Put a finger down if you ever went to a party of influencers and you got so blacked out your wig fell off in front of everybody.
Your wig fell off on everyone? It's my real hair.
Damn.
Ooh, this one's intense. Put a finger down if you ever let a guy drive. Hold on. Put a finger down if you ever. What the fuck? These got me. Sorry, I have dyslexia.
He has
Put a finger down.
dyslexia.
Jesus.
English isn't his
Dyslexia.
first language.
Yo tengo dyslexia.
Can you say it in Spanish?
Oh. Put a finger down if you ever let a guy you fell in love with drive your Bentley and crash it.
Oh, that's me. In love? I was in love.
I didn't say that. No,
I
that was
just-
dyslexia.
Yeah.
Got you. He
I was
fell in
not
love,
in
y'all.
love.
He had
He has
dyslexia.
feelings.
No, it's not. Put your finger down if you have feelings.
Just shoot my hand at this point.
Oh, put a finger down if you ever paid for sex.
Oh, for sure.
Could not be me. And I think that's it. Those are all the questions.
Oh, well, looks like
It's a tie.
What the hell?
Wow.
You know what that means?
No.
What?
We're gonna have to mud wrestle in the next episode.
Oh, you know what? We should make that happen. Because aren't you guys going to?
In this studio, some mud.
Aren't we going to? What's that place called? Palm Springs.
If this video gets 1,000 views, we will mud wrestle.
Perfect. Y'all know what to
Perfect.
do. Let's get to work.
So like, subscribe, comment, share, send it to your mom, send it to your dad,
Your gardener.
your ex.
I love that you looked at me for that one.
Gardener. All right.
Send it to Kamala Harris.
Bye.
That's
all,
all, folks. If you want to watch more fucked up shit,
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
woo!